through action. Himsa is also through words. Himsa can be through thoughts as well. That is how ahimsa is very important. So abstention from injury, himsa is important, and abstention from falsehood, okay, which leads to satya, is very important. And these are the abstentions, 5 abstentions that Patanjali Yoga Sutra talks about: ahimsa, satyam, asteyam, aparigraha, brahmacharya. Okay, ahimsa is abstention from injury, satya is abstention from falsehood, and then asteya is abstention from stealing. Okay, you see, something that doesn't belong to you, you should never try to get hold of it. Okay, this is a strict rule in Indian tradition. You should never try to grab something that doesn't belong to you. Okay, and this is stealing. And then uh, you should not steal the property of others. Okay, asteya means you should not steal the property of others. And then aparigraha is the one which says you should stay away from the things that doesn't belong to you. Okay, these are two different ones. One is stealing the property of others, the other one is not trying to take something that doesn't belong to you. Okay, so aparigraha. And then brahmacharya here means basically abstention from passions and lust. Okay, self control is what is being stressed here. So yama is the first step. Yama means abstention or restrictions. And here what is being stressed is you have to be you should not injure anybody, you should not speak falsehood, you should not steal others property, and you should not try to possess more than what you actually have. And then you should control your senses. Okay, these are the 5 things that are stressed in the first step called yama. And the second level, see, second level is more interesting. Second level talks about niyama, yama, and then niyama. Okay, yama is abstention, and niyama is the rules. No, we all use this word niyama. What are the rules that you have to follow? So rules are a kind of self culture. They promote self culture. There are again 5 rules that are mentioned here that we have to follow in order to reach a kind of self culture. And what are these? Shaucha. Shaucha is basically purification. Both internal and external purification is required for an individual to go to the next level. So shaucha. And then santosha. All of us know this word santosha as well, right? Shaucha, santosha, these are they belong to our own culture. So uh, you might have heard these words in your own mother tongue, definitely. Okay, santosha means, we wrongly translate santosha to be happiness, but actually it's not happiness, it is contentment. Okay, contentment means, contentment also gives you happiness. Okay, but happiness may not give you contentment. That is how santosha is translated as contentment. And then there is something called tapas, which is concentration, or which is a kind of austerity. Okay, you devote yourself to something and try to think about it continuously. That is tapas. And then swadhyaya is a very important aspect in the learning process. Self study is more important. The teacher will teach. Okay, you can you get the information from outside, but you have to make a sincere effort on your own to learn it. Only then you will know, you will gain the knowledge. That is how swadhyaya. Adhyaya is study, swa adhyaya is self study. Self study is considered to be one of the very important aspects of self culture. Okay, so and then Ishwar Pranidhana. So whatever focus, whatever goal that you have, spiritual goal, whatever goal that you have to completely devote yourself to that. Okay, here Ishwar Pranidhana is sometimes understood as the devotion to the God, but actually whatever goal that you may have, you should be completely devoted to that. That is very important. So that is how in the niyama, the rules that are required for self culture, 5 rules are stressed, maintained here. And first one is Saucha, which is purification, internal and external purification. And then the second one is Santosha, which is contentment. And the third one is Tapas, which is austerity. The fourth one is Swadhyaya, which is self study. And the fifth one is Ishvara Pranidhana, devotion to your goal. Okay, these are the rules that are very important. So, at the first level, you should have certain restraints. At the second level, you should have certain rules that you should follow in your life. And at the third level, after following these first two steps, we reach the third step called asana. Okay, asana is a physical posture, and you have during these last 6 days, you have already learned few physical postures, right? So you become eligible for these physical postures after practicing yamas and niyamas. So I'm not saying unless you master them, you cannot go forward. I'm only saying that you have to know about them. You should also practice them simultaneously while doing asanas. That is what is required for the best benefit that you must get by practicing asanas. Okay, so that is how physical postures. There are various kinds of physical postures that are stressed. But basically, it is defined. Asana is defined as steady and comfortable posture. Steady and comfortable posture. Any steady and comfortable posture is understood to be asana, and there are various asanas which are stressed and which are presented. In fact, you know about them, so I don't want to get into them. And the fourth level, after crossing yama, niyama, and then asana, and then you reach the fourth level. Fourth level is pranayama. Once you're very well acquainted with the physical posture, then you would be able to look at your process of breathing. Okay, then you observe your process of breathing, then you try to control your process of breathing. Pranayama is controlling the breath. Okay, regulation of inhalation, retention, and exhalation. Okay, so it can be done in various forms with various combinations, and the details of that I'm very sure are already presented to you in these 6 days. So this pranayama is very important in the sense that it is beneficial to the health, and it is also conducive to the concentration. This pranayama basically plays a dual role. At one level, it contributes to the physical health, and at the other level, it also contributes to the mental concentration. So it bridges between body and mind. Pranayama bridges between body and mind. See, when you're talking about asana, you're only talking about physical postures. So you're limiting yourself at the physical level. You go back. Yama is basically restraints. Okay, restraints on what you should not do. And then niyama is things that you should do, something that you should not do, something that you should do, and then you place yourself in a physical form properly. Okay, so until here, it is all these things are first three are related to the physical part of it, body, and now we will reach the mind, and to reach the mind, you have pranayama, which tries to contribute to the physical health as well as to the mental concentration. Okay, so that is how pranayama plays a very crucial role. Okay, so I want you to understand the significance of each one of them. That is my goal in stressing the importance of each one. And then after pranayama, the fifth step is more important, friends. Fifth step is pratyahara. So what is this? See, first you asked us to control our body, okay, and then controlling the breath. Fine. Now, what is it that I have to control? It says, I told you there are three things which are important. One is body, mind, something that connects these two. What is it? What is it that connects body and mind? Sense organs, indriyas, panchendriyas, five indriyas that we have, right? All of us have five indriyas, okay, panchendriyas. These five indriyas or sense organs are very important. And now you have to control the sense organs as well, okay? This pratyahara, the fifth step is to controlling the senses. And see, basically, unless you control the senses, can you control the mind? It's not possible because See, how does mind operate? Mind operates on the basis of sense organs. Sense organs give the information to the mind, and that is how mind gets modified into various objects and develops varieties of dispositions like liking, disliking, craving for it, or being judgmental, whatever it may be, right? That is how, in order to reach out to the mind, something that is to be cultured is sense organs. That's how Pratyahara talks about withdrawal of the senses, withdrawing the senses. You have to, unless you, because sense organs always try to go outward and look for the objects of their own objects and influence the mind. Okay, so what uh, Patanjali stresses through this pratyahara is you have to stop your sense organs from looking at the external objects. You have to make your sense organs look inward. Okay, its outward activity is to be stopped and it is to be encouraged to go inward. Only if it starts going inward, then remaining things are possible. Okay, your mind would be controlled. So that is how this important aspect of withdrawal of the senses is stressed. In order to understand this withdrawal of the senses, uh, uh, Indian knowledge system or Patanjali and others use this metaphor of tortoise. Okay, tortoise, all of you know tortoise, right? uh, it has four legs and head. Okay, and when you look at it, it starts moving. When will it move? When its four legs are out, when its neck is out. Okay, so these five things are like our five sense organs. So it says you stop them. Okay, you withdraw your senses. So and once you go near to the tortoise, what does it do? It withdraws its legs.
So you're unmuted.
Oh, I didn't know that. When did this happen?
So you're talking about the tortoise.
Tortoise, right? Yeah. So tortoise is the best example of how to withdraw the senses. No, four legs are withdrawn and the neck is also withdrawn. Similarly, five sense organs that we have are to be withdrawn so that you can have an internal perspective of your own self, right? So Pratyahara basically tries to tell us exactly this. You withdraw your senses from the external objects so that you would start focusing on your own internal self. I told you chitta is antahkarana. Okay, the internal internal organ is the antahkarana. So in order to reach antahkarana, you have to stop feeding your sense organs through the external objects. So that is being stressed in pratyahara. And after pratyahara, okay, up to here, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, all these are very important steps. Now onwards, you reach the mind. Okay, dharana. Okay, up to here, you are trying to control the body and the sense organs. Now you reach the level of mind. Okay, the sixth step that we come across is dharana. What is this dharana? Dharana is fixing the mind on the object of meditation. Whatever, if your object of meditation is your English textbook, right, or civics textbook or political science textbook, then you focus your mind on that, and this is what is called dharana. Dharana is uh, owning it, okay, wearing it, fixing it in the mind, fixing it in the mind, fixing the mind on the object of meditation is what is stressed in this dharana. For instance, some people say you fix your mind on tip of the nose and concentrate. Some people say you concentrate on middle of the eyebrows, or some people say you take an idol and concentrate on that, or some people say you take a white paper, put a small dot in the middle and try to concentrate on it, right? But First thing is you need to have an object of meditation, object of concentration. So you have to fix something. You have to fix your mind on something initially. Okay, so that is what is called dharana. Okay, here mind must be steadfast like unflickering flame of lamp. Have you seen the unflickering flame of the lamp? It doesn't flicker. Okay, so mind has to fix itself on the object of meditation, whether it is idle or whether it is tip of the nose or whatever it may be, and the flow has to go continuously. Okay, it has to be steadfast and unflickering. So this is dharana. And once you reach this stage, the next stage opens up for us, which is dhyana. Dhyana is concentration. Okay. This is the undisturbed flow of thought around the object of meditation. So in the first level, in dharana, you have an object of meditation, okay, and you are fixing your mind on the object of meditation. And in jhana, your flow of consciousness is undisturbed. Your flow of thought is undisturbed and it is going towards the object of meditation. Here, there is an act of meditation and the object of meditation. Both of them would be there, and both of them play a significant role in continuation of your concentration. Okay, and at the next level, we reach samadhi. Samadhi is basically meditation. Okay, and here mind is completely absorbed in the object of meditation. The object of meditation and the act of meditation and the agent of meditation, all of them become one. Okay, that is samadhi. Okay, so this samadhi is also understood to be two kinds: samprajna samadhi and asamprajna samadhi. Basically, what I'm trying to explain you here is that um, through this, when you reach this samadhi, especially the second level of samadhi, which is called asamprajnat samadhi. I told you there are 5 mental levels each one of us have. Okay, Chipra to Nirudha. You reach that Nirudha stage when you reach this asamprajnat samadhi. Okay, so these are not something that are alien from us. These are something that our body, our mind, our sense organs always the combination of all of them try to do. So that is how we have to first start with culturing the mind, sorry, culturing the body, and then culturing the sense organs. And that is how you become eligible to culture your mind. And culturing the mind is the one which leads you to stop the mental modifications. No, there it's like most of us probably would be at the first level, Chipta, that I said, Chipta, which is restless. No? We will not be able to really concentrate on anything. Forget about reaching the Ekagra. Even the third level also we cannot reach, right? Because we will be always uh, keeping our mind restless, running after the objects of sense objects. So this is what is required. Basically, what Patanjali Yoga Sutra is trying to stress is that it defines yoga in terms of chitta vritti nirodha. Mental modifications are to be stopped. And what are the mental modifications? I explained it. And what are the mental levels that we have? That also I explained. And in order to reach the highest level of mental life, you have to follow certain steps. And these steps are yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. And among these, few steps are specifically for the physical body, and few steps are for the indriyas, sense organs, and few steps are particularly related to the mind. So if you follow all of them together, that completes the each one of them are harmoniously related to the other. Unless you start culturing your body, you cannot culture your sense organs. Unless you culture your body and sense organs, you cannot culture your mind, right? So that is how there is a organic relation among these steps, these 8 steps, and this provides a holistic conception of what would be the good life or what would be the happy life. Okay, This is what I thought I should stress here on this occasion. And I thank the organizers for this wonderful opportunity that they have given me. And I also thank all of you for your patience. Thank you.
Thank you
I don't
so
know
much, sir.
how much time I have taken. Yeah, sorry. If I
No,
exceeded time, I'm sorry for that.
no, sir, it's okay. Thank you so much, sir, for this insightful session. We are all inspired by your words of wisdom, and I'm sure that this will really help the students to harmonize their physical, emotional, and mental health. And the way you explained all the steps will really make it easier for us to inculcate it in our daily lives. Now, the floor is open for questions, so participants are requested to put their questions in the chat box.
Yeah, I see Professor Nanda here. Thank you very much for this wonderful invitation, Professor Nanda. You are on mute. Your mic is on mute. Yeah. I think one of you have to unmute. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Balaganapathi Devarakonda. It is such a pleasure, such a delight to hear you. In fact, today I was not doing very well and I thought I won't be able to come, but I'm glad I came because already by listening to you, I am feeling much better. So I think in a way, just listening to you and understanding how you have practiced it. And before I go on to thanking you, because I think that should be the last, I also have a question. Now, in my regular day as a teacher, I try to imbibe certain qualities and learn about yoga or the yogic way of life. The Ashtanga Yoga being far more difficult than anything else. But I realized that when I moved on to taking on the chair of an administrator, it was always more difficult. Because there were certain things that made me restless. There were certain things that did not allow me to hold on. So you have also been an administrator. How did you practice it in your day-to-day lives? It is very easy to say, but it is very, very difficult. I think there is a question from a student. Maybe you can answer that question. They may be very similar to each other because we talk about administrative work and they talk about studies, but it is similar. So how does one do that? How does one not get angry? Because I have seen you, I've never seen you angry. I just saw that when the microphone started playing on its own, you did not get agitated. I have seen that people's emotions come up, but you had a sense of calmness and also a sense of humor. How does one maintain that? How does one try to imbibe that? Is it through years of practice, or is it some kind of of course it is practice, but how does one bring that into one's own self? And how much of it is because we do not want to do it, or there is something that is acting as an obstacle? So just this question, and you can perhaps combine it with other questions that are here.
Yeah. I don't know. Suddenly my screen stopped moving.
So there are many questions. Somebody should read out the questions too, sir. Did you hear my question?
Yeah. I heard your question.
Okay.
But
So there are similar questions. There are similar questions, but I think one of the organizers, students, could read it out to sir, please.
Yes, ma'am, I'll surely do that. Okay, so there are many questions, and one of them she's asking is how to maintain control on our body and mind. Like when students try to concentrate on their studies, they usually lose their concentration, and there's a lot of confusion which is just there in their mind. So how to come up with that situation?
yeah, basically, let me first respond to Professor Nanda. Thank you so much, ma'am, and that's a very relevant question. You're asking this question only so that the students would get benefited. Otherwise, I see you. We were together in at least one or two occasions on various seminars, and you also practice it so well. I see that. But what I say is, when Patanjali explains all these things, there are two very important things that he stresses. if you want to reach this stage of concentration and stopping of mental modifications, and he lists out these 8 steps, and he says there are 2 very important things that you must keep in your mind. One is practice, and another one is vairagya. There is no magic. There is no
Yes.
magic that happens. So don't believe that, friends. With this 6 days workshop, you are going to change. Don't think that way. Okay, this 6 days workshop is helping you to place your first step, and then I told you this in the niyamas, the swadhyaya, self-study is required. Somebody has told you the information, given you the information, they told you that this is the knowledge, but that is not enough. You have to practice it in your life. Only through practice. Practice doesn't mean you practice it for one day and you look for the results on the second day. It doesn't happen. It has to happen continuously, and you have to make your mind habituated to that. Otherwise, your emotions are always ready, to overcome your mind and overcome your disposition, control your dispositions, and aggravate your dispositions, negative dispositions. So there is no magic. Only way is to continuous practice, and that's what Patanjali also stresses. And the second important thing is vairagya. Though we talk about detachment, yeah, as you said, ma'am, it's like very easy to talk about detachment. We can always say that, yeah, be detached, but it is so tough to be detached. And for that purpose, actually, that's what I was stressing, friends. Each one of these steps are very important. So you have to start with the restraints, okay, yamas and niyamas. In fact, when I was asked to teach yoga at a different place, I stopped with these 2 aspects, yama and niyama, because this is like the entry door and the first room. So these 2 are very important. Unless you are very clear about your entry and then the first one that you come across, remaining things, see, once you are very clear about these 2, remaining things will be very easy for you. So you have to concentrate on the 5 restraints that are mentioned, in terms of ahimsa, satyam, asteyam, aparigraha, brahmacharya. Okay, where injury, non-injury, and staying away from the falsehood. These are not very easy to practice. These are very tough ones to practice, because we all understand every day we speak so many lies, right? And we got habituated to that. So, for example, if somebody is habituated to speaking truth, will it not be very tough for him to lie, tell a lie? Obviously, right? Similar is the situation for us now, because we got habituated to telling lies, and that is how we find it very difficult to speak truth. So it is the practice, and it is a kind of detachment as well. That's what is required, which is being stressed, to be the only ways through which you can practice these 8 steps in the best possible way. And I think whether we are students or teachers or administrators, these 2 important aspects are to be taken into consideration. Uh, so we should not think that things happen in a magical way, or there is an instant food, fast food that is ready for us. So that's not allowed. Even if you want to practice a particular yogasana, you have to practice it for so many days, so many months. Unless you do that, you will not reach that particular posture in a perfect way, right? So can you think that, yeah, I have seen it on the computer, and my teacher has done it, so I should be also able to do it in the similar way in one day or two? That's not possible. So controlling the mind that the student friend is asking, um, um, again, uh, only for that very purpose, friends. How do we come across this question many times? How do I concentrate? No? So in order to think about concentration, you have to understand what are the things that are disturbing your concentration. Okay, that's why chitta vrittis, the modifications of the mind, are the ones which disturb our concentration. That's why I was very particular about particular in talking about the levels of mental levels of each of these individuals that uh, all of us are. So we have different levels of mental life, and if we can understand these aspects of mental life in a clear way, then we would be able to focus our mind. We would be able to concentrate on each one of them and stop them. Okay. For example, once you're clear that your mind is restless because it is tossing between various objects of your sense organs, then you can cut off these objects of sense organs from the mind, so that you can get focused. Similarly, leading to lethargy is not going to give you a solution. So once you know that the next level is lethargy, if you are aware of that, you always try to avoid that. So if you're not aware of that, there is no possibility of avoiding it, right? That is how, in order to arrive at the concentration, you have to understand what are the things that are disturbing your concentration and try to focus on them first, so that you can put them in their place, which helps you to go further in your concentration. That is how each one of these aspects that I have mentioned in terms of levels of mental life, or in terms of what is chitta, okay, what is mind, what is manas, these are all very important things that help you to understand your own self, understand your own mind. And then once you understand your mind, you will be able to place it where it has to be placed. Okay. And each one of these steps, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, they really help us if you focus on each one of them individually, and also in the form of an organic, harmonious way. So that is what is required. I know it is very easy to say, but it requires a lot of effort on the part of the individual who is really looking for it. Okay. If you want to clear the 11th graduation, then you have to read each one of the chapters of your book, no, your syllabus. And you cannot say that, no, I don't want to read. I don't want to read completely. I don't want to study completely on my own, but I just want to listen to what happens in the class, and then finally qualify the examination. That it's not possible that way, right? So that you have to keep in your mind. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. The next question is that how can students practice detachment, that is vairagya, in their lives?
Yeah, detachment here means what kind of detachment is very important. Okay. When Indian tradition talks about detachment, it says one has to be, it talks about Viveka and Vairagya. Basically, Indian tradition talks about two different ones, by Viveka and Vairagya. Viveka Jnana is knowing the difference between what is important to you and what is not important to you. Okay. And once you are clear about what is important to you and what is not important to you, you will obviously reach the stage where you would understand with which you should get attached and with which you should get detached. Okay. So that is how Viveka and Vairagya, both of them go together. Okay. So the first step is to understand what is your goal. And once you are clear about your goal, you understand, you have the clarity of mind with regard to what is important to you. And once you are clear about what is important to you, the detachment is towards something that is not leading you to your goal. Okay. Detachment is, see, I am not saying that you be detached with your books or you be detached with your study. Okay. That's not what I mean. You, when you have a goal of qualifying in civil services or becoming a researcher, whatever it may be, then you should be clear of what is good for you and what is important to you. And obviously that gives you a knowledge of what you should be attached with, what you should be detached with. So that is very important. I am not asking you to be detached with everything in the world, even with your studies. Okay.
Okay. So next question is that how can we overcome the practice of overthinking, or how to calm oneself in critical situations?
Yeah, that again, pranayama, asana, and pranayama, both of them really help, because the physical state, pranayama, especially, I was stressing the importance of pranayama while talking about it, because pranayama is the one which which contributes to the physical health, and at the same time which also tries to contribute to the concentration. Okay, so it is a bridge between the body and the mind. Pranayama is the bridge between body and the mind. So concentrating or focusing yourself on pranayama definitely helps you to improve your concentration.
Okay, so the next question is that how can we control anger?
Yeah, that again, attachment and detachment. If you are getting attached to the things that are not required, then this kind of disposition. See, basically, anger, pleasure, and seeking something and craving for something. These are all dispositions of your behavior. Okay, and these dispositions come into existence because of the mental modifications that we have, and these mental modifications are because of the objects, that the sense organs try to present to the mind in terms of something that is pleasant, that you want, because you always have two kinds of things in the world, friends. One is something that is good for you, and the second one is something that you like. So it is not that something that is good for you is always something that you like. Okay, so this distinction is to be properly understood. In fact, let me narrate this small story. Uh, mm, Before the yuddha between Ravana and Rama, Ravana calls for a meeting in his court, and everybody comes there. All his officials, senapatis, everybody comes there, and everybody gets up and says that, "Don't worry about this. Rama is just a human being. We can easily kill him. Okay, we are more powerful than Rama, so don't worry." But only one person gets up. Vibhishana gets up. Vibhishana is Ravana's brother, younger brother, okay, along with Kumbhakarna. And he gets up and he says, Hitam manoharicha durlabham vachaha. He tells, brother, there is no word which is hita, good for you, and also manohari, that you like. Okay, so all these people are talking something that you like, but I want to tell you something that is good for you, but you may not like. Okay, so even in our life, friends, most of our dispositions are because of lack of proper discriminatory knowledge of what is good for us and what we like, and which one is to be chosen. We have to choose something that is good for us. See, for example, you may not like injection, no? Even then you have to take the vaccination because it's good for you. So you have to go for it. Even I am scared of injections, but there is no way, right? So I have to go there. So similarly, something that is good for you, something that you like, both may not come together most of the times in our life, and this is what changes our dispositions, and that is where we have to concentrate. That is why I was stressing this importance of two kinds of knowledge: viveka jnana and vairagya. Viveka is knowing what is good and bad, and then vairagya is getting detached with something that is bad. Okay, so these are very important for each one of us.
All right, sir. So another question is that as in case of dharana, while focusing on a particular point, how can we prevent our mind to be distracted to some other thoughts?
Yeah, dharana itself is like fixing the mind, which means you're trying to stop the flow. Okay, uh, the mind always tries to go with the routine. Okay, it tries to go wherever it wants to go. So you cannot completely stop it. In fact, in Yoga Vasistha, Rama himself, there is Yoga Vasistha is a text where there is a dialogue between Rama and Vasistha, and Rama himself says, "See, mind is like a street dog. I cannot stop it, and it goes into the market. It goes to a particular place. It smells something, and it is not that it wants to go there or eat something. It goes to immediately. It turns back and it goes somewhere else. Right? So it is not that it has some work. That is how it is going there. No, It would be shuttling between things without any purpose and without any specified interest or focus. So he says it's very difficult to control this mind. And that is how this dharana is important. Patanjali prescribes dharana to be one of the ways, which means fixing the mind is one of the first steps towards samadhi, towards meditation. You know, if you want to reach dhyana, dharana is very important. Fixing the mind on an object is very important. Okay. And this obviously is a practice that is required so that you can stop the flow of other thoughts, other abstractions coming into the picture. That's why they say you keep a physical object, no external object in front of you so that you can focus in on it.
All right, sir. So the next question is that how can we prevent procrastination?
That's again another disposition, no mental disposition, which comes out in our actions. Sometimes, see, all of us have this problem. Like even I was like, when I first got your mail, I thought, okay, let me prepare and write something for this. And then I thought, okay, I have 1 week time. Let me do it after some time. So procrastination is a part of our mental dispositions, right? Finally, last night I sat because my focus is that I should not use the jargon. I should not use too technical kind of things because I understand that there is a diverse students group that is present here. So it's not completely philosophy students. So I have to keep it as simple as possible. So then I have to prepare myself yesterday. So what I mean to say is procrastination is also a part of life. That's why the concentration is the one which tells you what is your goal. Fixing up the goal is very important, man. Most of the times we fail to fix up the goal. And once you fix up the goal and keep it in front of you, then continuously it tries to encourage us. Okay. It tries to stop us from other things, distractions. It also positively tries to encourage us to take one step towards it. That's why I would always say, uh, uh, what do you want to become? Like, do you, which one really attracts you? Something, how, what do you call yourself? Do you call yourself to be the best, better, or good? So most of the people say I'm the best. No? I would say once you say I'm the best, you're dead. Okay, you have frozen. You have nothing else to go further. But if you say I'm better, which means you are accepting the reality and you are accepting your limitations and you are also seeing the improvement in you in the sense that you are better than yesterday, right? Better than last time you have done this particular thing, right? You have read a lesson yesterday and you are reading it once again today, which means you have improved yourself in understanding of the lesson, right? So this better continuous bettering of ourselves is very important. So that's what we should focus. If you think that no, there is an ideal kind of a student that I have in front of me, I want to become that ideal student, you can never become, because you can never become the other. Okay, for example, if I say I want to become Radha Krishnan, it's not possible, right? Radha Krishnan is a different kind of person, and I am a different kind of person. I can only become Balaganapathi, that's all. But I can always better myself. I can become a better teacher than I can give a better lecture than today. Tomorrow, if you call me, okay. So that is how I see an improvement in myself, and witnessing improvement in yourself is very important in each of your actions, because human life is mostly endowed with repetitive actions. We do sometimes act in a unique way, but most of the times human life is endowed with repetitive actions. And even in these repetitive actions, if you are not trying to be better than yesterday, then you are killing yourself, right? So that is to be avoided. So become better than yesterday. And so self-analysis is very important. Self-reflectivity and self-analysis is very important. In the evening, if you can spare some time with yourself, this is very important, friends, because somebody, a great scholar, has said, have you met yourself? Okay, if you haven't met yourself, then you miss the wonderful person, right? Because don't you think you're a wonderful person whom you should always meet? And how do you do that? Self-reflection. You sit with yourself for at least 10 minutes. Now that you have done this workshop, start spending time with yourself. See, some people think that if you spend time with yourself, you're a mad fellow, but don't bother about them. Okay, but you do spend, you try to spend some time with yourself, and in that particular time, you try to reflect on your actions and see whether there is an improvement, slight improvement from yesterday's yourself. Okay, that gives you a lot of encouragement to yourself. See, some people keep arguing, saying that I don't get any help, nobody helps me. I really feel bad about such kind of people, because first thing is you should help yourself, only then the other will come into picture. When you don't help yourself by doing a kind of self-reflection, trying to understand yourself, trying to understand your weakness, trying to be sympathetic to your weakness, and encouraging you to come out from those weaknesses, how can you expect others to be sympathetic to you? Is it okay to expect from others? So please think about it. Spend some time with yourself. This is very important for human beings, to all of us. Okay? Yeah.
All right, sir. So we would take one last question where she's asking that can you suggest some books that we can use to improve our understanding regarding yoga?
Yeah, regarding books, I don't know. There are many books, friends, but be wise in choosing them. That's what I can suggest. And I think you can contact your faculty members in philosophy department. Dr. Simi, she is into meditation and practicing meditation, and many other friends who can suggest you the books. Because I don't go with these popular books, because I stick to the text. That's my attitude towards these studies. But otherwise, if you get a chance, try to read Patanjali Yoga Sutra itself and any of its interpretations. Okay, that would be helpful to you. And it's not just limited to Patanjali Yoga Sutra. You can also read on Buddhist forms of meditation. See, I'm not biased in telling you that you should read only Patanjali Yoga Sutra. There are other practices as well, which are well researched and well presented. Especially Buddhist meditation is also very helpful to most of us. So you can have a look at this Buddhist meditative practices as well. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, sir. With this, we come to an end of this question and answer session. Now, I would like to request Cadet Manya to deliver the word of thanks.
Gratitude is the least expressed of all human emotions. And I, Corporal Manyam Kumar, is here to propose my vote of thanks on behalf of National Cadet Corps and National Service Scheme of Miranda House. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to today's guest speaker, Professor Balaganapathi Devarakonda, for spending his valuable time with us and enlightening us throughout this session. It was wonderful listening to you, sir, and thank you so much for coming for us, sir. As we come to the conclusion of this amazing week-long certificate course, Unifying Body and Mind through Yoga, organized by National Service Scheme, Miranda House, in collaboration with National Cadets Corps, Miranda House. I would like to thank our principal, Dr. Vijayalakshmi Nanda, for giving us an opportunity to host the event successfully. Our sincere thanks to all the speakers who taught us so much in the past week, and that too in the most interesting way that we started falling in love with yoga. I would also like to extend my heartiest gratitude to NCC caretaker Madam Dr. Archana Kushwaha and NSS program officer Dr. Rekha Kumari for guiding us throughout the program. Finally, and most importantly, I would like to thank all the 200 participants from various colleges who actively attended the sessions, making it a grand success. And also to all the volunteers of NCC and NSS for managing and coordinating the event perfectly. Thank you everyone for your efforts, and we genuinely believe that you will understand the essence of yoga every day, and this session has really motivated you for the same. And as I conclude, I would like to remind you that yoga is essentially a practice for your soul working through the medium of your body. Thank you and Jai Hind.